Alright, boys, so this is a Sonic.EXE video, backstory is explained, but I'm not even gonna lie. First, I'm gonna talk about my subs because my subs is getting close to 200 now. Like, seriously, I literally have 192 subs. I'm almost to 200. Like, I'm getting a bit famous now. Like, I don't know. Okay, anyways, let me pause and then get to the Sonic.EXE story. Sorry, hold on. Okay, anyways, do the Sonic.EXE videos. So we obviously see that Tails is looking for Sonic, but I'm like, not yet that, but I never meant to say that yet, but the reason Tails is hold on, flying I meant. Hold on. Let me just make the video shine so you guys can hear me. So yeah, I remember I'm actually a fan of Brawler because I feel like his animations are cool, but I think the old one was better because if you see there's a dark shade and the urgent shade and the light shade. I'm like, it's fine if he doesn't do it. It's okay. It's okay if he doesn't do it that much anymore. Anyways, let's talk about it. So so we see that Tails is looking around, and the reason he was doing this is meaning that he's because he's looking for Sonic. And then when he turns back, when he looks again, he obviously finds Sonic. But Sonic literally was floating. So, but when you look closer, if you look closer, he obviously is floating. Some people didn't actually know he was floating, but one YouTuber found out that he was floating. Not all of the YouTubers didn't know he was floating at all, but Sonic was definitely floating. This was not Sonic because he literally was floating. Sonic cannot float at all, so this was 100% not Sonic. So I knew that was not him because I noticed that he was floating. So, but the other YouTuber also found out that he was floating. So, but yeah, anyways, back to what I was doing. And then Tails gets down and then gets happy to see him, but Sonic doesn't respond yet. But when Tails walks, the thunder scares him, and then the world changes to dark side and the scary side. And obviously, Tails gets scared because of the thunder, and obviously, we see that everything is weird, like showing the world sky is red and the sea is red as well, and Sonic is still there, not moving at all. And when was Tails was kind of scared because he still thought it was Sonic, but he still didn't notice him floating at all. But but then when he was walking, he started noticing something weird too. He was really scared, and then he noticed something a bit weird. He noticed that the his animal friends were dead, and like they literally were dead. Like I know this is kind of creepy, but I'm not even scared. So, but Tails definitely got scared. But and for the second one, there was actually a ring, and that meant it was supposed to be Sonic because Tails did not think it was Sonic because Sonic never does that. But he still thought it was not Sonic because he knew Sonic doesn't do that. But obviously that this one was not Sonic. But yeah, he noticed. But I noticed that, and someone said there was a ring, and someone said, why would Tails come to Sonic if there's literally a ring? Like Sonic is the one who put the ring because no other monsters put the ring, so it was definitely Sonic. And then when Tails was still scared, and he was still going towards him. And when Tails was next to him, and then he was still kind of worried that maybe it's not Sonic, but he was still thinking it was Sonic, and he was shivering too. So, and then when he touched him, he obviously when Sonic turns back, but actually, I mean Faker one, but and then he starts to smile, and I don't know why, but maybe it's because he's trying to make Tails think that he's happy for him, but obviously after that he turns into the EXE version, and that's where Tails has to run. Tails has to run away because he knows this is a monster, and obviously he should have not came to him because that was the Faker Sonic, and I know Sonic characters do not know, but it's because he looks like Sonic. But yeah, and then Sonic.exe starts to smile because Sonic.exe can fly too. And then Tails tries to run for his life, and then he turns back and realizes that he can also fly or float. Yeah, Tails was trying to run for his life, and then he noticed that there was a sharp bone, and he was thinking that maybe he can defeat it from Sonic.exe. And then he started to go there. And then Sonic.exe started cutting off the trees, or whatever they are, but I forgot. And then Tails gets there and then grabs the bone, and then is shivering. And then Sonic.exe is right behind him. And then Tails gets scared, and then he gets really scared. And he tries to defend himself, but after that, Sonic.exe started opening his mouth. He starts to open his mouth and tries to fright scare him out. And then Tails actually put it on him, and he actually stabbed him on the head. And Tails starts to get really scared because of what he done. But Tails then actually killed. But Sonic.EXE didn't die at all. And even though it did go on his head, obviously the blood was coming out, and then Sonic.EXE got it off, and he cannot die at all. So Tails thought that was gonna defeat him, but obviously he was wrong, and then he got trapped, so he couldn't go anywhere. And then I just noticed that there's a green line, but maybe forgot not to show that, but it's fine. Whatever. But then Sonic.EXE makes it heal as well, and he is unbeatable, actually, dude. And then Sonic.EXE tries to jump scare him. And then Tails starts to get really, really scared. But then when he opens his eye, he starts to realize that he was gone. And he looks around if he's anywhere, but obviously he's not. But Sonic.EXE was nowhere seen. And Tails thought he was fine because he didn't see him. But then this happened. When he looked back, he noticed that he was right behind him. And then Sonic.EXE finally killed him. But then there was something wrong. It was definitely not supposed to be that, but Sonic.EXE said so many souls to play with so little times. Would you agree? But that's not where he said it. He said it to Knuckles, not Tails though, but it's okay if I think he doesn't know Sonic.EXE. I think at that time he didn't know Sonic.EXE that much, but it's fine though, but he's still a cool YouTuber though. It's fine because some of them one realized that he said so many souls to play with so little times. Would you agree? Obviously it's fine. Anyways, now let's move on to Knuckles. Okay, anyways, we're here. So then now the next victim we probably know is Knuckles, and obviously we see Sonic.EXE walking around, and this one looks remade a little bit because I think he hasn't been doing it for a while, but this is where Sonic.EXE puts Tails on that stick. And while he was walking, he actually had Tails' head this whole time still. He still had his head. It looked like the world was changed as well, because I think Bratwurst changed it, because I think he now was doing good a little bit, and that time, obviously Sonic.EXE still had his head, and obviously he was playing with it. Then he had an idea, so he saw a stick and grabbed it, and put Tails' head on it, and that was so disgusting, actually. And obviously, he puts it on the ground, or the grass, or wherever. And then when Sonic.EXE looks somewhere else, he starts to see Knuckles. So if you don't know what Knuckles was looking for, he was actually looking for Tails. Because it actually showed it in a note. Because if you see, he obviously shows it in a note, and then that means that he was looking for him. Yeah, he was missing. Tails has been missing, so Knuckles was looking for him, and I think the reason he came in let me not say that yet. Okay, and then he still continued flying, and Sonic.EXE was still staring at him. I'm like, looking at him. And then Sonic.EXE starts to smile, meaning that he's coming for him too. He's just like killing everyone that is in his universe. Like, he's actually a murderer, which we probably know. And then this is where he comes to the other world. Knuckles goes to the other world, which is actually Chemical Plant. I don't know why he was there, but Eggman, maybe he thought Tails was there, so maybe that's why he was there. But maybe that's why he was there. Obviously, when he walks over it, it says turn back. And that was probably Sonic.EXE doing it. And Knuckles did not see that. While he was walking, Sonic.EXE teleported behind him. And obviously we see that he teleported right behind him. And then Knuckles hears something, and then he tries to look back. And then and then thinks it's Sonic. But obviously it's not Sonic at all, but I think the reason he thinks it's Sonic is because he looks like Sonic, so which you probably know, but obviously that's not him at all, so. Because the reason I think he said Sonic is because he actually talked. And then obviously, if you look, we see that he obviously says Sonic, like this. I know you can't hear it, but it's because I'm talking so you guys can hear me. Alright, let me show you my proof.
Sonic!
See, he did say Sonic, and obviously, when he said that, he was still looking at him, and Sonic.EXE decided to show him what he did to Tails. And Tails' head was right there, and I don't know how he was next to it, but Knuckles started to realize that Tails was dead already, and Knuckles was too late. And then he starts to get surprised that Tails was dead, and then Knuckles starts to get really sad because it was his friend, then he knows that Sonic.EXE did this. And the reason he was getting mad at him is because he knew he did this, and he was not sad at all. And then he starts to lick his blood. Like, oh, that's disgusting, though. But Knuckles tries to defeat him, but obviously we know he can fly, but when he tried to defeat him, he actually missed. Sonic.EXE dodged it. I don't know how he's fast, but he's definitely unbeatable, so... But Knuckles tried to get him, but obviously he missed, but... Well, after that, Sonic.EXE scratched his eye. Like, oh. I know it's kind of disgusting, but I'm not even scared, though, but... And then Sonic.EXE tries to come for him. Like, he's literally just walking instead of floating. And then Knuckles tries to run away because he knows he's a bit strong. He's strong and he's definitely not He's definitely not beatable. So, and then Sonic.EXE starts to look and then has an idea what to do with Knuckles. So he decides to use a tree because the reason he was looking at the tree is because he actually had powers for that. Sonic.EXE definitely has a power and he had, I don't know what it was called, but Pyso powers, whatever, I don't know. Because obviously we see he's using his hands to grab it. And then like this. And then it comes up, and then Knuckles tries to hide. And Knuckles goes to the hiding spot. And obviously we see that there's a chemical plant kind of hurt. And the reason Knuckles was hiding is probably we know it's because of Sonic.EXE. But he thought Sonic.EXE did not know where he was hiding, but he did actually know where he was hiding. But Knuckles had to check where he was, but I think he saw him, but I think Knuckles saw Sonic.EXE, but he was trying to hide. But Sonic.EXE already knew where he was hiding, because he literally the sticks were going near his head, and then he starts to throw it, and he already knew where he was hiding it. Knuckles thought he didn't see him, but he obviously did. Knuckles thought he was safe, but when he threw it, obviously we see that it's coming for him, and then it goes through his head. And then obviously, that means he already knew where he was hiding it, and he thought he didn't see it. And then Knuckles starts to turn back. I'm not gonna say this because I think this is so disgusting, so I'm not gonna say that. And then this is where Knuckles dies. He starts to look closer because he cannot see what's coming to him, and then this happens. I'm not saying it because I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, I'm not saying that. This is where Knuckles got dead. Yeah, that was super disgusting, but he finally died, so alright. And then Sonic.EXE starts to turn back and sees Eggman. Or like he says doctor. Like I don't know, it's a bit weird, but Sonic doesn't say that. He calls him Robotnik or Eggman. Whatever. And the next one was actually Dr. Eggman, which you probably know, but Dr. Eggman. Alright. And then he starts to come for him because he knows he's innocent, and he starts to teleport. And then does a jump scare again. Alright, now let's move on to Eggman now. Alright, next one is Eggman now. Alright, so this is where Eggman was also there. So Sonic.EXE was actually coming right behind him, and Eggman did not see him yet. And this looked like it was remade too, because of those mobile. Eggman was on his mobile. This one's called the mobile because that's what his name is. And those jets were actually blue, not like red, fire or whatever. But anyways. And then Sonic.EXE starts to smile and then says his name, saying Doctor. Like he says it louder. Like I don't know how he can say it louder, but Dr. Eggman heard him because he literally looked back because he heard it. And then when he looks back, he notices that Sonic.EXE was right behind him. But I think he thought it was Sonic because he always gets happy when he defeats Sonic. So I think he thought it was Sonic, but obviously Sonic cannot float at all. So I don't know how he thought it was Sonic, but Sonic definitely cannot float. But Eggman starts to get surprised that he was floating. Like he tried to look, and Then Sonic.EXE tries to show him that he's gonna kill him. I think he wanted to give him a chance to run away, but and then Eggman knew that he had to run because he showed that he was gonna kill him. Eggman was scared because of what he showed. And then Eggman had to get out of here. And there was a boost button that he can press, but I thought he didn't have it because I never seen that before. And then he pressed it so he can get out of here and not be near Sonic.EXE. Even though he gets away from it, Sonic.EXE starts to smile. He smiles like this. And then after that, he has a plan other way to catch him. So that's why he was still waiting, even though he was smiling. And then this happens. I don't know how. And then his arm starts to turn into these tentacles. And it's kind of disgusting a little bit though, by the way. And then starts to get faster. I think that's why he didn't not go for him yet. And that's when Eggman starts to realize that the tentacles were right behind him. And then he had to get out of there fast, but it was too late. The tentacles already grabbed him, and then it was Sonic.EXE was about to get him, but Eggman did not die yet because he had a remote on his hand, and then he pressed it because of his mobile, and then his mobile starts to come, and then Sonic.EXE hears it because he gets distracted, and that's where Eggman escapes for like he was close. Eggman escapes it and then falls off, but he did not die at all. But he knew he was far away from the falling. But Eggman pressed another remote button, and then it started a laser, and then it shot Sonic.EXE. But some people thought he was dead because of because he was actually screaming because he got hurt a little bit. Now Sonic.EXE was not actually dead; he was still alive. Eggman thought he got away, but when he got on his mobile, he starts to smile because he thought he was gone now, but obviously he was still alive. And Eggman was trying to get away now, but while he was trying to get away, and then there starts to get this the song scream louder, and then obviously we see that he is covered with a whole blood on him. Like that's so creepy actually. Covered in full blood. And then after that, we see that after this, he has his mobile sitting down, with these. I think that means he parked it. And then after that, Eggman went. I thought Eggman was gonna go to his base, but obviously he did not. He went to this weird place, which was the castle, and it looked old. It looked like it was old, and there was a tree leaves there. So and Eggman went there. And then he started to notice a sign, and I think it's because there were dirty things on it. So he had to get it away, and he noticed that it said "Do not enter." Now Eggman did agree. But the reason he went there, I'll tell you guys there. So Eggman did agree, but when he looked back, he notices that his mobile was disappeared, and Eggman had to go because he couldn't go anywhere else. And because if he just jumps off, he'll just die. So he didn't have the mobile was definitely not there. So he had to go in. But the reason is because I think it's because Sonic.exe did it, and Sonic.exe was already here. So Eggman thought he was fine, but obviously when he goes in there, Sonic.exe appears there. You'll see, like that's when Sonic.exe starts to appear behind him, but he already gets in there. So Eggman had to go in the castle because his mobile disappeared, so he could not just jump off in this building. So yeah, he had to go in there, and that's where Sonic.exe teleports near him. And obviously we see that he's all covered in blood because of that laser from that mobile. And I think Sonic.exe pushed it, I'm pretty sure, but I know we didn't see that, but I'm pretty sure he pushed it because if it's not without a reason, then would it be the reason? So I think it's definitely because of Sonic.exe. Yeah, it's definitely because of him. So, and then when Eggman gets in there, everything seemed to be quite okay, but dark with the I forgot what it's called, that fire cones. I don't know, I forgot. But the reason he was and then that's where it starts to get dark. So Eggman needed that fire candle thing. I don't know. I forgot what it was called, but when he grabs it, we obviously see that Sonic.EXE is right behind him, and Eggman did not hear it. And then he continued walking, which we obviously know. And then Sonic.EXE starts to go to the other way, and he disappears. And then that's where Eggman almost. That's where Eggman got scared. Now Sonic.EXE ran past him, and Eggman starts to get scared because he heard it. Eggman was definitely scared, and he didn't even see him yet, but obviously I noticed that there was a shading right here, which that's kind of cool. And then when Eggman notices that he's not behind him, when he looks back, he notices that there's a fire which was from his hand earlier. Obviously, he noticed that there was so much stairs. There was no wall for it at all. I think there wasn't a wall for it at all, but it was so much stairs, just like from the original Sonic.EXE. And then when Eggman looks behind him, he notices that Sonic.EXE was right here. He did not respond yet, but he literally scared him so hard. That's where he gets really scared. And this is a jump scare that is super scary. And because of the like no blood yet, but it was super scary. And Eggman starts to get really scared. And then that's where he actually trips on the stairs. He accidentally took one more step and then fall off because of Sonic.EXE. And then while he was looking, he starts to smile. And then Eggman keeps tripping on the stairs. And he actually got hurt because those stairs made him really hurt. And his glasses were broken. His whole body was like hurt. Including his glasses. Is actually one. And then Sonic.EXE starts. This is where it shows Sonic.EXE's shadow. And then Eggman starts to get scared a little bit. And that's where Sonic.EXE almost kills him. I'm like, Eggman did die, but I'm just saying, like. And then he starts to show that steps on his spats, and that's where it's like. And then steps on his spats. And then Sonic.EXE was not looking anymore. Obviously, he didn't die yet, but he said, I don't know what he said, but, hold on. Let me see. Hold on, let me make it loud.
It's a very sad day for you, isn't it, Doctor?
Or maybe he said, may poor day for you, isn't it, Doctor? I don't know. But he was still talking to him, though. And then he starts to walk away. But then after that, we see that Eggman is still, like, fake death. And then we obviously see that he's still alive. And then he starts to get up and have his laser gun. I think he has a laser, but I don't think it's a gun at all. But he had a laser with him. And then Sonic.EXE stops walking because he heard him get up. And then he looks back. And then Eggman uses that laser thing. And then he starts to shoot him. Now, obviously, it looked like he defeated him at first. Some people thought he defeated him, and he actually four-shotted Sonic.EXE, which is kind of disgusting a little bit, but he definitely shot at him now. But Eggman actually thought he won because he looked like he was brave now. So, but when Eggman looked at his blood, like you obviously see, he looked somewhere else. But then he heard him talking like this. I was doing.
You just don't get it.
Like, he just said, just dunk it. Do you? And then, obviously, we see that he's still alive. And some people are surprised that he was alive still. And, obviously, he's talking. I don't know what he's saying, but I don't think that's important right now. But, whatever. And, obviously, Eggman realizes that Sonic.EXE is actually not unbeatable. And Eggman started trying to shoot him again, but he ran out of it. Eggman was trying to shoot him, but he already ran out of things, so electrical things, and he started to get very worried. He knew he was gonna die. And Sonic.EXE starts to smile, and then grabs his gun with his power, and then obviously that's where and then he just destroys it. And now Eggman cannot escape. And Sonic.EXE started walking towards him. And honestly, I think Bratwurst forgot that he still. I think the reason he still has it is because I think Bratwurst forgot that Sonic.EXE destroyed it, and it's okay if he forgot. It's fine. Like I don't know. I think in this animation he forgot, so but it's fine if he forgot. Then Sonic.EXE starts to talk just like Shadow, kind of like Shadow, because someone said he's talking like Shadow. And then that's where it starts to get very creepy. And then Sonic.EXE starts to put his hand on his head, meaning that he's gonna almost about to kill him. And then obviously we see that this is super creepy. His eyes starts to show this red glowing, like too much red glowing. And obviously after that, obviously he starts to hold him. I'm like, meaning that he's gonna die now. Eggman starts to get very scared because he knew he was gonna die. And then Sonic.EXE started saying this. Like, let me show you.
I am God.
And that's where he said, I am God. And that's where he got killed. And yeah. And that's where Eggman died. And after that, there was something weird after that. So, but after Eggman died, obviously Sonic.EXE was doing something after the death. So, obviously, if you see, yeah, he's obviously in the world, and the world seemed dark a little bit. It looked like it was night or something. Or I don't think so, but the look changed. I think the red sky was changed, so I think he changed it. And that's Sonic.EXE was, and all the things were healed, but except the mouth and the glove. Obviously, he was. I think he was using the souls. Obviously, the first one was Tails, and then Knuckles. Obviously, just like we see here. Yeah, those are the souls that he had. That's why he's trying to kill them. And then obviously they start to disappear, and they actually go on his form. And he looks like he was transform. He wanted to transform and get more strong this whole time. And that's where we see that he obviously has those things, and that's why I said it was weird because Sonic.EXE never showed that form before. But and then after that, it shows his face that it's obviously changed as well, and that's where it shows the creepiest part. Okay. Anyways, that's the end of the story. That backstory I talk. Now the next one, I'll talk the next one about which is gonna be Sally.exe from the torrent animations later. I might not talk about it right now because it's kind of late today, but I'll see you guys there. Bye.